Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Bumblebee Corner. My name is Lisa. Are you ready for some makeovers? So today, most of the products I am going to use are coming from Sonnet's Curators Makers Box. They are some really great products. It's like a monthly subscription box that I get every month. Usually it comes at the beginning of the month, and there's always some really great products in there. The only way you can get the products is to subscribe to the Maker's Box. But I want to show you what I got this month. So let's get started. All right, so for this first project, I am using the Marshland Guardian from the Painted Photographer's rice paper. And I'm just going to use the water method. I just want to kind of tear this out. I want like that little jaggedy edge. I don't want it to be like a clean cut. So I'm just taking a paintbrush, I dip it in water, and just kind of wet the paper, and then I can tear it off. So I guess maybe the water tear method that's a better way to put it. So I'm putting it on a book, and I had already painted the book white. So like I said, this is rice paper from the Painted Photographer called Marshland Guardian. So I'm just going to use my liquid patina from DIY to put it on. And I do use my water mister to kind of get that paper wet. It just kind of opens up them fibers, and it kind of stretches it out, and you get less wrinkles that way. Normally I don't get too many wrinkles with the rice paper anyway, because it is a little bit thicker than just the normal decoupage paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it on and put another coat of liquid patina on top. All right, and next I'm going to use the paint color. It also came in the Maker's Box, called Water Lily. It's also from DIY Paint. It's a chalk paint. So I am going to use that to paint like the spine and the back. And I wanted to add, I just didn't like how it was just that solid color. So I decided to use some of this cake batter that was also in the Maker's Box. And then I'm just going to kind of spritz it with water just to kind of blend the colors together. And I have it up on the end because that front was still a little bit damp. So I just kind of had it sitting up. And plus I wanted the water to kind of run down to help blend the colors. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing that, and I'm using my heat gun just to kind of dry it a little bit to kind of see how it's going to look. And then we'll move to the next step. All right, so now I needed to seal everything. So I'm going to use Big Top, and I'm just going to go ahead and seal all of it, because if you don't seal the DIY paint, it can get activated again. You know, if it gets wet or just, it's really easy to wipe the paint right off. So I'm going to go ahead and get it all sealed. I'm just going to put another coat on the front too. I just want to make sure it's really sealed well. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let that dry. So I just wanted to add a little something more to it. So I decided just to kind of add this lace, just to kind of dress it up just a little bit. I've had this lace. I got a whole bunch of it at a garage sale a couple summers ago. So I'm kind of working through. I just thought this added a cute little touch to it. So let me know what you think about adding the lace to it. I'm going to show you all of the finished projects in the very end. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, so for this next project, I'm going to use this frame. I've had this in my stash for a while. I didn't really like that green color, so I decided to go ahead and paint it with Fusion's Acadia Pear. That came in the Maker's Box. And I do go over it. I go give it 2 good coats, and then I just kind of touch it up with a 3rd coat. I want to make sure I have full coverage. This was a really pretty, kind of like a light greenish color. So I thought that would pair really well with I'm using it was Secrets of the Garden rice paper that I'm going to use in this frame. So let me go ahead and I will finish this and let it dry. All right, so it's all dry. So I just I used the papers that were in the frame just to use as a size guide. And I just went ahead and cut out one of the pictures of Secrets of the Garden. You get 3 of them that come. This paper has 3 of the same image. One is like a 5x7, and I believe the other ones are a 4x6. So I just went ahead and cut it down to size, and then I'm just cleaning up the frame a little bit. And this project is complete. All right, so this is the project that I had many troubles with. So this was just, I got this from, I believe from the thrift store. So I wanted to use this. It's called Old English Countryside. It's a recycled decoupage paper that came in the maker's box. But I needed a white background. So first I'm going to go ahead and just paint this entire surface white. I ended up going over it twice I just wanted full coverage. I wanted to make sure all these images were fully covered. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all painted and let it dry, and I will come back and show you how I messed up. So I decided to use this Old English Countryside. It's a recycled decoupage paper that came in the box. So I'm just measured it out, and then with my nail, I'm just going to rub it in there just to crease it so I know where to cut. So then I go ahead and I use my scissors, and this paper does come, it's folded. So I was in such a big hurry to get it all done and get it cut out that I don't know what I did, but I used the wrong crease lines as a guide to cut. So then when I laid it out, it's just a little bit too small. So my first thought was, I'll just figure out something else. I'm sure I have another paper or something I can use in here. And then I thought, nope, I'm going to run with it. I'm going to see if I can fix this. So I'm going to lay this piece down. So I'm using DIY's liquid patina, and I'm just laid the paper where I wanted it. And I'm going to start out with a starter strip just to get it started. And when you use a little bit bigger piece of paper like this, it does take a little bit of patience to get it down. So I'm going to go ahead and mist it just to try to alleviate as many wrinkles as I can. I do end up with some wrinkles. So I'm just going to do little sections at a time. So I do another section, and then I lay it out. Then I just go over the top with some more liquid patina with my brush. And sometimes you just got to lift it up a little bit as you go, just to get some of the wrinkles out. And I'm just going to go ahead and work this till I get this all laid out. Like I said, it does take some patience and I did end up with a few wrinkles, but I just decided to embrace them. It is what it is. It still turned out pretty decent, even for my big goof up. So I'm just going to, like I said, just keep doing sections. And if you get a wrinkle, you can you have to be very, very gentle, because this decoupage paper will tear pretty easily if you're not careful. So I'm just going to go ahead and I get this all laid down. So this just took me a little bit. I just kept working through it. I'd have to lift it up a little bit and just work some of those wrinkles out. A couple of them I was able to rub out with my finger. So now this is how I decided to fix it. I just went ahead and cut out the rest of that paper, and then I'm just going to piece it in there. So I just put down some liquid patina, and then I'm just going to match it up the best I can. Especially down here where it's like the pattern is really busy. You really can't tell where I pieced it all together. So I just have to keep moving it. So I'm just going to work on this, and I am going to just let you watch the whole process as how I fixed my goof. So I got it all laid down, and I think it turned out pretty decent. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a good coat of liquid patina on top. I want to make sure all those edges are down. And then I'm going to let it dry completely. So once it's completely dried, I come back with my knife and I just trim off all that excess paper all around the edges. And for the most part, I mean, I know where the imperfection is, where I matched it up. But I think just to glance at it, I don't think anybody's going to notice. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off all this excess paper. So now I'm going to go ahead and paint the frame with, I'm using the DIY's cake batter. I thought that would kind of match up pretty good. In the end, I wasn't sure. Thought maybe I should have just left it the black. But there were some imperfections on the frame that needed to kind of be covered up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this entire frame painted with the cake batter. So I got it all painted and it's dry. So I'm just going to kind of go ahead and distress it a little bit. I don't know. I wasn't sure. I don't know if I'm liking the cake batter. I'm kind of wondering maybe I should have used that Acadia pear. But I'm just going to go with it. So I kind of go around the whole entire frame. And I'm going to distress it all up and see if I like that. So I still wasn't really sure. And I'm still trying to learn how to be, I can slap a coat of paint on stuff, but just all the little other techniques and distressing and stuff I'm kind of learning. So I decided to take the DIYs. It's a dark dust. And I just kind of I wanted to tone it down a little bit. So I did have it sealed really well. So I just kind of took that dark dust and I thought I'm just going to play and see what happens. So I went around, took my paintbrush and just put some dust on it. And then I took my water spritzer and just kind of spritzed it just so that it would kind of run down. And I think it turned out pretty decent. I kind of like it better than just like the bright cake batter. I love that distressed look. So I don't know. Tell me what you think about this one. So my last step is I'm just going to go ahead and seal the whole entire piece. And I used Big Top to seal it. I just went over the whole thing. And then this project is complete. So my next project, I'm going to do this cutting board. So I decided to use the Sweet Pickins milk paint that came in the maker's box. This one is called Completely Coral. So you're just going to mix it. It comes in a powder, so you want 1 part of the powder to 1 part of water. And I didn't need very much of this because this cutting board isn't very big. It's on the smaller size. So I didn't want to mix up too much because then you have to use it within 24 hours. So I just do my 1 part powder, 1 part water, and then I'm going to mix it up really well. You just want to make sure there's no clumps or anything in there. And then I let it sit for, I don't know, maybe 5 to 7 minutes. If you have a larger amount, you want to maybe let it sit for 10 minutes. You want it the consistency of kind of like a milkshake. So then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put 1 coat on here. And then I let that dry. And then once that's dry, then I just kind of go over with another coat. I do love working with the milk paint. Not everybody likes the unpredictability of it, but I like to have like the crackle and chippiness of it. But you just never know. Sometimes you get it really good and sometimes you might get a little bit. Sometimes you really don't get any at all. So I go ahead and I put that second coat on. And then I use my heat gun because that's normally what will bring out a lot of that crackling and chippiness. I really didn't get very much with this, but that's okay. It's like I said, it's the unpredictability. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this completely. I do have to take my little sander and give it some distressing just to see if I can get any chippiness, but I really didn't get any with this, and that's okay. Another project, I had a little oopsie, nothing major. So I went ahead and I cut this out, and then I also did the water tear method on this. So I'm going to go around all of the edges with the water and just tear it, just so that I kind of have that little torn, jaggedy edge. Where I messed up a little bit, so I used my liquid patina, and I start to do kind of that little starter strip to get it laid down. And then I realized that I did not paint the back white. And normally when you're putting a decoupage paper, rice paper on like a colored background, you do want to paint the back white just to hopefully help that paper pop out a little bit. So you can see I keep going. So I get it all down, and then I'm like, oh no, I didn't paint it. So I peel it back off, let it dry, and then I paint it white. So here I'm just going to use White Swan from DIY, and I'm just going to paint it. I ended up doing 2 coats. So I did this 1 coat. I used my heat gun a little bit and let it dry completely, and then I did another coat. So let's try this again. So I put down another coat of liquid patina, and I'm just going to lay this down, kind of position it where I want it, and then I go ahead and continue. So I just do my little starter strip and then do some liquid patina over the top, and then I go ahead and finish it. This is a pretty small piece, and like I said, with the rice paper, you don't tend to get very many wrinkles with the rice paper, especially with the smaller projects like this. So I go ahead and get it laid down, and I just go over the entire top with the liquid patina just because I want the whole surface to look the same. And now that that's all dry, I am using DIY's crinoline. I just thought that would look really pretty with this completely coral. So I just go ahead and I do all the edges, and I do the back, and then I'm going to let that all dry completely. And then, of course, after it's all dry, I do have to go with my little finger sander, and I do have to distress all the edges and just kind of go over the whole entire thing, just to have it all distressed and just to give it a little bit of age. And then here I didn't feel like it looked quite complete yet, so I just kind of dug through and I decided to add just some jute twine around. So I just wrapped it around a few times. Just no rhyme or reason, just till I thought it looked pretty decent, and then I just tied a little bow to finish that off. I wanted to add just a little bit of a hanger. I thought this would be a really cute little shelf sitter, but I thought it'd be great to have an option to hang it up too. So I just did a little piece of twine through there and tied it off, and there you go. So what did you think, guys? Which one was your favorite? I think mine was I have to look at my cheat sheet, the Marshland Guardian, which was the blue, I think it's the blue heron. I love anything birds anyway. I know I've said it before, but birds are just a favorite to me. So that one was probably my favorite. I'd love to know what your favorite was. And I would love it if you haven't already to please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified when I have new videos coming up. I'm going to do a couple collab videos this month, so I have to look at my calendar. So the first one is going to be a spring collab, and these are all with Sonnet's Creative Networking Group. We have a group together that we get together once a week and just kind of talk all things. You know, we all have the same interests, so we kind of talk about our businesses and stuff. So that one is going to come out on March 24th. And then the other one is a thrift swap. So a bunch of us in the group, like I sent a box of goodies to somebody, and somebody sent me a box of goodies. I haven't opened the box yet. I got the box. I haven't opened it yet. And we're going to see what we can come up with. We're going to upcycle. So that one's going to be really good. And that one comes out on March 31st. So you're going to want to hit that notification button so you get notified when these videos come out, because they're going to be fun. And there's going to be lots of creators to watch their videos to see what they come up with. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And I will see you next time. I am going to be uploading. I hit up some estate sales this past week. So I'm going to pick up some stuff in a little bit, and I've got a couple different places I have to go pick up. So you're going to want to check out that video too. I'm thinking maybe Thursday, Friday-ish, I'll put that video out. So again, make sure you hit that notification button so you see when that comes out. I have some good stuff coming. So I will see you next time. Bye.